Okay, this is a video on how to make a little zipped bag. First thing you want to do is cut 4 pieces of fabric. You can make it as big or small as you want, but make sure the zipper is about the same size as the fabric. Okay, once you do that, you're going to have, you lay your fabric face up, your zipper face down, and then your fabric face down. So it's like a sandwich, and I can show you this. Fabric face up, zipper face down, fabric face down. Okay, so you got a sandwich. The 2 front sides of the fabric are facing each other, and the zipper is facing away from you. So once you do that, you want to put your zipper foot on, and I'll zip the zipper down a little bit when I get started. And let's see, you can back stitch a little bit. And go ahead and zip the zipper, or sew the zipper. Alright, when I get close to where I had unzipped it, I'm going to zip the zipper back up. You might have to lift that up in order to get the zipper past the needle. Okay, and then go ahead and finish sewing the rest of that. Back stitch. Okay, so that is your first step. Now you're going to take it to the iron and press it. And after you press it, if you want to do a top stitch across here, you can. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to do it this time. So let me take the ironing board, the iron, and flatten it out. Alright, so once you got that done, you see it's nice and flat. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing. You see this zipper? Okay, the first thing you want to do is have the fabric face up, then have the zipper face down, and then the fabric face down. If you have a pattern like I have cats, you want to make sure everything is facing the way it's supposed to be facing, so it's not upside down after you sew it. So we're going to do the same thing, sandwich it in there. And I use these little clips because they're a lot easier than the needles. Okay, so the zipper is already down on this end, so I don't have to move it yet. I'll go ahead and start sewing. Okay. And back stitch. And when I get close to that zipper again, I'm going to stop so I can pull the zipper back up. Okay, that way this lays flat to make it easier to zip to the, or sew to the end. Okay. Now I'm gonna iron that just like I did the last one. I'll zip it up and take it over here and iron it. And just flatten it out so you can iron it. Okay, so once that's ironed, that's what it looks like. So now you're going to take these 2 pieces, which is the front, and you see the front part of the zipper, you want to turn these parts towards what's going to be the inside of the bag, so away from that zipper. So when you separate these two, that's the direction that these zipper things will go in. And then once I do that, I'm going to unzip this, because you'll have to have it unzipped when you turn it inside out. Okay, so the same thing on this. You want to make sure that's the back side of the zipper, which is going to be the inside of the bag, and then just fold that down so that's pointing towards the inside of the bag. Okay, and on the inside of the bag, that's where you are going to want to leave a hole. That way you can turn it inside out. So I'm just going to put that here, so I'll know where my hole is going to be, and that here, and the bag. And sometimes when you're doing it, it might not be all the way even. Like, see how I got that extra? But that's okay, because you just sew above your shortest piece, and then you can cut the rest off. Okay, so I'm gonna check again to make sure that's gonna be the inside, because it doesn't have the zipper thing on that side. So I'm going to change my foot, put a regular foot on here. Okay, get that thread. There. All right, and I'm gonna start here. And let's see. And then you can do a little back stitch again. Okay, now you're gonna go up. And when I get to the zipper part, I'm gonna slow it down, because there's a metal piece. Sometimes you might be on that metal piece, which you don't want to be. So I just go slow. Now I'm gonna reverse it again, kind of reinforce where the zipper's at, and then come back over it. And let's speed it up again. And this will be the outside of the bag, so let me go a little bit more. Okay, so you go all the way across on this one. And back up the side. I'm going to slow it down when I get to the zipper part. And reverse it. Speed it up. And then just make sure, like this is, you can't see it, this is where you leave the hole. So I will leave probably about 1.5 to 2 inch hole. And I'll do a little reverse right here too, just to reinforce it. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I just want to check it out. Okay, so of course you cut, you know, the ends of your squares right up to the sewing part. That makes the corners turn in easily. All right, and now I'm gonna, if you can see, I'm gonna cut that. And I'll leave the little bit of extra where the hole is because I'm gonna have to go back in and sew that, and that'll give me a little bit of extra material. But come up the side and you can cut that zipper tab off. Okay. And then come up here. And then back on this side. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but I got close to the edge. So now, that little hole that you have in the end, that's where you're gonna go in here and grab this, and that's why you unzipped that zipper when you was sewing it, because you need a hole to get your bag through. Okay, so you turn it inside out, and you can push the corners out. I'll unzip this the rest of the way so I can push the corners out. Let me get my fingers in this hole again. Okay. All right, and then I'm just gonna push this in and iron it real quick. Let me make the corners. I'm just gonna run an iron over it real quick. All right, now I wanna bring that inside back out because I have to zip up, or zip, I got a zip on the brain. I have to zip that, I have to sew that hole up. So I'm gonna push my corners back out again when I bring the inside of the bag out. And then I'll fold this in, which is what I'm gonna sew. I also wanna press that, it just makes it easier to stay in place when I'm sewing. Let's do it one more time. All right, so once I do that, then I'm gonna put it down here, and I usually start back to the back. It's okay if you do that. You can have one long line. Almost done. Get rid of this extra thread. All you gotta do is fold it back in. Okay, and voila, you have a zip bag. Oops. I missed a piece. I missed a piece of the thread to cut off. Okay. All right, so now, voila. There's your bag. And zip it up. There's your zip bag.